First of all, I'd like to explain if Greg appeared a little tentative going to the rostrum, it is not because of the lack of fire and zeal to promote our trade and obviously our industries, but rather because he was kind of busy last week up to ASEAN, and noticing how tired he was, I told him, "You're authorized to take a break when we leave for Paris for the climate change conference. You can take the whole time we're on the plane as a paid leave, right? Both going to and coming back." Anyway, but there's a main body. If I really have to share this, I might forget. No? One of the things that I want to comment on is yung, the idea that you're successful, you've competed against foreign firms that perhaps were, I don't know, more established, have been in the industry longer. And I don't think we should think about the lopsidedness of the challenge. In one of my earlier careers, I was working for Mondragon in the division that handled Nike. And at that point in time, no, people actually didn't even know how to pronounce the brand name. Then we were, like any salesman, we were being given knowledge of the product seminars. So one of the questions I asked, how do we differentiate our brand from the competitor? And the product specialist told us, well, we use basically the same materials. We have a different trademark. We have a little more vibrant colors, etc. In short, there was hardly any difference between our product and theirs. But the major difference was we were selling ours at an introductory price that was over the regular price. So how do we get people interested in a product that is more expensive, that is basically the same, was the challenge. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really that clear, how are we supposed to do this? No? And I was in we were a total of 6 people handling, 6 or 7, handling the whole Nike account for Mondragon, no? Which meant production, advertising, promotions, marketing, the whole gamut, including training of the sales personnel, designing of the point of purchase displays, researcher during sporting events that we wanted to get involved in. Then, of course, we were competing with the giant of the industry whose name I won't mention right now. They might think I'm insulting them. But the bottom line is our advertising and promotions budget was probably 1% of their promotions budget. Okay. So we'd innovate, for instance, sponsorships in villages for the basketball league. When they saw that it was catching the attention of the youth, which was our market, they decided to hold 10, 20, 30 for each event that we'd sponsor. But at the end of the day, it got to the point that I think we even discovered new lines for Nike in the Philippines in garments, to the tune that at one point in time it was responsible for like a third of Mondragon's profits, just the athletic wearables at that point in time. So I guess when you look at a competitor that is bigger, one should say that they actually have an inertia, no? How to change systems that seem to have worked all these years. Whereas the younger upstart has as the Latin speakers would say, a tabula rasa. You know, we can invent anything. And these innovations really cause disruption in the market, and the ability of the older established brands to navigate the changing winds indicate whether or not they will succeed. Yeah? So built into that relation, they might be bigger, they have all the resources, but you are actually the change agent who knows where you're going, and they will have to wait to react to where it's going. So there is a built-in advantage to being the smaller guy in the block. Okay. First, another thing I wanted to comment on, I think I'll remember in a little while. Sorry, the job of president really is trying to watch all of the cable channels in the world at the same time and being perfectly aware of what's happening with each and every one every second of the day, and preferably knowing the conclusion before it is even thought of by the writers. Okay. So let me go to the main body of the speech now. During my time as president, I have grown to treasure attending events such as this. It is in these places where Philippine ingenuity is harnessed and displayed to the world. And being able to witness this for myself reinforces my optimism about the future of our country. Before I proceed with that, I did remember the second important thing that Jack Ma was in the country, no? And I had the chance to talk to him for about over an hour. And really an interesting guy. No? First thing that we hit it off because, like me, he's the opposite of a techie person. No? He said, "No, I'm not really that techie. No, I hired the people who know all the tech. and they tried to distill it enough for me to understand. But the bottom line is, I think he was responding to the dearth or the quality of infrastructure in China at that point in time. He had this vision that we can do this service, no, using the net. Now, the point in the conversation I want to stress is, medyo nangingiti kami ni Greg kasi talked about Q. Greg, kumakalimutan, no? The knowledge quotient, the intelligence quotient, and the LQ. Sabi ko ba? LQ nito. The bottom line is you can hire the knowledge of anywhere in the world. IQ is there anywhere in the world. But he did notice that in the Philippines, no, and that is the point that I wanted to comment on Mr. Quezon's speech. We do have, LQ is love quotient. So I had to explain to him, during my generation, LQ referred to love quarrel. No. But the love question enables the Filipino to go really to the needs of the client that he is talking to, which is not available elsewhere. The bottom line is that's a tip. No, he's really looking seriously at us to add that LQ to the operations of Alibaba. Right. So you might want to prepare the proposal ready for Mr. Jackman. I don't think I have to encourage you as to the sheer volumes, no, that, of transactions and value of the transactions going through Alibaba. Okay, so back to the main topic. The success story of Pointwest Technologies is a testament to the skill and talent of the Filipino people and to our nation's continued leadership in the IT-BPM industry. The numbers tell an inspiring tale. In 2003, this company employed 60 people. Now, I am told that you have hired more than 1,250 individuals with revenues reaching, wala naman si Kim Henares, $31.3 million last year, which is very efficient. In the same year, I am told you were also chosen as the best Filipino-owned company of the year in the International ICT Awards Philippines. Not to mention that the services you provide include those that have had a significant impact on the lives of our people. For example, the award-winning weather monitoring application for the Department of Science and Technology's Project NOAA, which was aptly named Arko. Si Maglagmay's presence, sabi ko, tagal na di nakikita yung ating in charge ng nag-create ng NOAA, which basically means NOAA is working well. Because if it didn't work well, it'd probably be in my office every other day explaining. This tells me that your talents are not limited to technology, but also extends to biblical history and marketing as well. Indeed, your belief in the capacities of your fellow Filipinos seems to be at an all-time high because you express it not in words, but also in pesos and centavos to the tune of an additional 40 million in investments in the firm. I am told that this delivery center, your third in the Philippines, is envisioned to accommodate 222 additional seats, not to mention another 62 for your idea incubation unit. Of course, the multiplier effect that the investment has of your employees here, who will have more money to spend on cafes, convenience stores, transportation, entertainment, Uber, taxi services, and so on, are even infinitely more. For your trust and confidence in your own country, and more importantly, in your own people, obviously, you have my utmost gratitude. I stand before you today to assure you that our government will continue to be your partner in maximizing the talents of the Filipino people. You're aware that we have just concluded the hosting of the APEC Economic Leaders Meeting last week. In our retreat session, we had an interesting discussion about technology and how it impacts our respective economies. Naturally, innovation opens many doors for us, but it is vital for any government to deal with the disruption that always accompanies innovation. President Barack Obama spoke of how in the United States, certain manufacturing plants that once required 1,000 workers to produce a certain number of cars now only need 100 workers to produce the same amount. Obviously, that displaces 900 of them. The next question is, how do we recapacitate these 900 workers, or at the very least, those of them who have not retired already? Given these kinds of advancements in technology, it behooves us all to find ways to make certain our people cope with an ever-changing world and even better, make the most out of it. This is the thinking behind our massive investments and reforms in technical education. As innovation expands the realm of opportunities, we need to be certain that our people have the skills to capitalize on those opportunities. Through the Training for Work Scholarship Program, for instance, of TESDA, we have done just that. Over the course of our administration, we have spent more than 1.6 billion pesos on this program just for the IT-BPM sector, training more than 200,000 Filipinos along the way. We worked shoulder to shoulder with the IBPAP to ensure that this money was spent efficiently. And it has resulted in more than 70% of the beneficiaries of the TESDA IBPAP training program in 2012 finding relevant employment within 6 months after graduation. Compare this to the 28.5% employment rate posted by all TESTA scholars from 2006 to 2008. And I am certain that with our continued cooperation, we can improve this figure even more. Again, go through the training, within 6 months, find a job. Success for over 70% of them. 2 years ago, we also launched the Service Management Program, which is a 21-unit specialization track for students in IT and business schools. This year, we welcome the first batch of graduates of this program. And as of June, we estimate that around 8,000 students across 8 state universities and colleges are enrolled in it. Excuse me. Of course, we have also taken advantage of the blistering progress in technology. The University of the Philippines, Open University, has been working with the IBPAP to convert this courseware, to convert the courseware of this program to create open distance e-learning courses. Essentially, this allows more Filipinos to overcome more boundaries and better equip themselves to succeed. I am told that as of September of this year, 1,200 enrollees have already signed up in these courses, and half of whom are OFWs. Hopefully, upon graduation, they will stay in the country and not need to be outside of the country. These programs are not doleouts. They are investments in our people, who we consider our greatest resource. Let us look at the numbers. For the TESTA program, government invests around 7,155 pesos per scholar. When that scholar graduates and finds a job in your sector, a conservative assumption would be that he makes at least 234 pesos a year as an entry-level worker. This means that with the maximum tax deduction, his annual income tax will be around 7,900 pesos. Therefore, we have made money just graduating one person that facilitates the next person in line to get the same opportunity. Is that not the definition of efficiency? In less than a year, the state recoups its investment, and this is not even considering that the graduates will be taxpayers until retirement, and that they will also become empowered consumers whose spending will spur our local economies. Of course, none of this would be possible without companies like you who have bet on the Filipino people. You who give them the opportunity and the creative space to make the most of their capacities. I have less than 8 months remaining in office, I think. Or I'm hoping I have less than 8 months in office. But I am hopeful that you will work closely with whoever succeeds me, with the goal of continuing your sector's growth and of showing the world that it is worth it to bet on the Filipino people. Indeed, over the past years, our partnership has reaped unimaginable rewards. We have proven that with the partnership of a government that serves no other boss apart from its people, your sector and our entire country can go from success to success. I am confident that if we continue our productive engagement, we will not just remain globally competitive, we can also give rise to a Philippines that is seen as a global example of what it takes to enjoy success that is both sustained and inclusive. A Philippines that we can be proud to bequeath to the next generation of Filipinos. The appeal earlier of hopefully the successor will continue what we have done. It's also, my appeal and my desire. But at the same time, perhaps we shouldn't be that fearful in the sense that, there is a saying that goes something like, success has many fathers, yeah, and mothers. But failure is a lonely orphan. Bottom line is this. If you succeed, I don't think there will be a fool who will replace me who will say, I want to fight this industry that is so successful. Therefore, you yourselves will actually cultivate, the necessary support that government can give and should be giving. With that, thank you. Good day.